We're going to know about basic understanding of roles and page access and things. So I have shared my screen. Hope you can see. So access, of name itself, or people, most of the people know that what is mean by access, like uh, to access a specific thing based on certain conditions. So and there are in Zerocode we have three type of access here. So one is a public access in terms when it comes to page. One is a public access and uh, access based, or if you don't mention, it is session based. Okay. Here when you going to create a page, so I'm going to explain about page access today. So how we are going to give access about a page and how it works and how it helps at the end. I'll show you how it can be accessible. Okay. So in Zerocode, if you go to pages tab, we have a page creation option. So when you click on that, when you navigate to create a page module, we have options here, a public base and access based. So if you don't select any of these two, so you simply select an application module and the given master page as a user, and you given name and code simply, and you are not given any, you are not selecting anything. So except maybe use menu also an issue. You simply created a page. So which means that these pages are called session based. If you don't select public based or access based, then those pages are called session based access pages. Okay, session based access pages. Session based means maybe people who are know from technical side they can know. For non-technical people, a session based means into the application when you log in with the username credentials. So the application hold your session like you have verified and authorized one, and you will be access to the pages until your session get click on and log out. So until the session timeout, you can access pages into the whatever given into the application. Like generally, if you take a banking application, so when if you log in, then only you can access your see your account information. So if certain time after certain time or period, they have said that if you don't do any action of ideal for 5 minutes, so automatically if you click on anything, like if you want to click on transact anything, it will navigate to logout page that your session has been expired. Okay, the session time in the whenever valid session time, then only you can access their information. So like the way here, so if you don't select any public access or access based, so those pages called session access based pages. Those pages can accessible only if you log in into the application. Okay. For example, profile page or change password. We have two pages. In general, if you go to pages list, there you can find the profile and session based pages and change password pages. So you see the yellow color icon. So yellow color indicates this page is accessible through only session based when you after login only. So if you log in on right side of the corner of the application, you can see that when you click on logout option, then you can see profile, change password, and logout option. So those profile and change password pages are example of only accessible through session based. So here in Zerocode, we are validating session based on a token. So when user wants a login, So the backend, it generates a unique code and it gives to the front end, and it application it holds and it will send the token every time to access a page or API, whatever it is. So if the token is valid one, so the backend application verifies and it allows to access. Otherwise, if the token is expired, then it will simply throws it not allows, and it just throws a message like you are not authorized one. So this is how in Zerocode it works. Sorry, someone please mute yourself. Surya, thank you. This is about access session based. So do you have any questions about session access based?
Sir,
Yes.
can you repeat once?
Complete session access based.
Okay, sir. Yes,
Ah,
sir.
so when you joined earlier on, right?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Okay, all right. So let me brief. Session access based means people who has logged into the application, they only can access that page. The page, for example, the profile page. So the profile page is one is a session access based. So the page when you create, if you don't select any of these public access or access based, these two checkboxes, if you don't select any of these and simply created a page, then that page will be created as a session access based page. So that page can only be accessible after a login only. If without login, you can't access that page. So in Zerocode, we are validating a session based on a token. That token you won't see. It passes through in console if you see any network option. So every API, every hit to the backend, they send a token which is generated once you log in. So the token is validated, verified, then only it allows to access the page. So this is how it works here. So the session access based pages you can identify in list as which are yellow colored icons. So yellow colored dot circles, these are session access based pages.
So,
Still, don't understand?
understand. Thank you, sir.
Apart from anyone?
Yes, it's clear, sir.
Clear. Great. Next, moving to public access. In public access, name itself, it's open for anyone. So when you're going to create a page and if you select it as a public access, so and this page can be accessed without login, even login. For example, you are seeing a login page. So the login page doesn't require any credentials to access that page. So that's why it open for anyone. And when you log in, it is a selected as a default page. That's why when you load a URL, the application URL, it will by default it opens a login page. So, okay. So just simply try if you want to check that how the session based and public access works. You know what you do. After we just open a login page and log in inside the login, go to the select open a profile page or change password page, copy the URL, and you just try to copy paste in the incognito window, and it won't opens. It simply throws a message and it navigates to login page. Says that you are not you don't have permissions to access the page. So, but login, it's a public server. That's why it's always no need of check any validation. Simply opens to you as you request. So login is one example, and we have forgot password option. So when you click on that forgot option page, it also it's one of the public access pages. You know how it helps the public access pages. With generally, if you see any CRM application or if you see few applications like Flipkart or Amazon. You can open a website, you can search and everything without even knowing of login anything until unless you're going to make a payment. Okay, those all are public access only until you are going to make a payment. The payment pages and the other pages should be accessible only a login through. So those pages are called session based access. And whatever the products you are going to browsing and searching, those pages are called public access pages. So generally, another example, like if you see any banking application, there are options like a contact us page and about us page. So those are all doesn't require. So if you user wants to see know about things without login, they simply keep it as a public, so anyone can view and know its information. So we can call those pages are public accessible. We will create those pages without need of validating anything. So any questions about the public access? So we can identify this public access page with a green circle dots. So those pages are can accessible without even login. So do you understand about a session based versus public access based? The difference between session based and public access based?
Yes, sir.
Great. So don't hesitate to ask me, please. If you have any questions, you can raise. What's your question? Great. Fine. So this we have covered session based and a public access based. So the last one we have a roles access based. So role is access based and role access based, both are same. So we simply have options selecting public access page, and if you select as a without selecting any public or access base, we are calling it as a session based. So those session based we can identify with a circle yellow color, and public you can find with a circle of green colors. Now when it comes to access based, it's completely a tricky one to understand. So listen carefully here from here onwards. So access based. So access based. We are saying this when you create a page. If you say the page is access based, so we are saying this access based page are can be accessible to a user by a given a specific access to your roles. Let me explain how the steps going to be do this thing. So when you create a page and if you select as access based, and once you create a page and you see those, you can identify the page as a red color circle. So which means that this page, so even you log in, so it doesn't matter if you, even you log in also, you can't access those pages, this access based pages. So the access based pages, know how you can give access to your user means. But generally, if you log in application, what you do, if you have multiple applications, you will after login you will fall into administration. You will see multiple applications there. You can find administration. So if you don't have multiple applications, you can simply navigate to admin application. There you have list, user list. So you have roles and users list. Okay, the roles we have already given basic one, the admin. So let it be admin as default one, and if you go for user list, so you can have by default one user with the admin role. So the roles list, how many you have? So we are going to give. So we are just giving identifying and accessing user with linking user with this role, specific role. The role we are saying for each user, you know, when you're creating after successful creation of access based page and you come to when you click on this, so after creation of page, you have to click on that name, user list. Suppose user list you can see here. You click on that name, it will navigate to this another page. There we have the last tab called access. Okay. Now when you click on this access, there you can see empty. So now we have default thing, but it is empty one. So you can, the first tab called roles access. Forget about the group access and the exceptions. You have to know about only roles access enough for that. So when you click on add button, you can see list of roles drop down here. So if you don't create any new role, you can find only admin role one here, admin, system, and custom guest user. So if you create any specific role like customer or another manager kind of thing, so you can find whatever the roles you have created in end user application. As I shown you, right? The end user application in administration application, there you can have an option to create a multiple roles. The roles, whatever you created there, those roles will be visible here. When you click on add option, the pop-up will open and the in role drop down, the first one. The first drop down, when you open, you can see the roles, whatever you have created. Okay. So if you want to say this page can be accessible for only manager, so you can select only the manager, and task you might be, I'll explain this later, task about thing. So by default, you will have one default task. You simply select that one and save it. Once you created, it will shows list here like this. So administration role can access this particular page. So example, I say manager, right? So you can see the manager record here. So even admin login, and you created the user list page as a ease menu option, that page even can't see by admin. So you said only this page can accessible for only a manager role. So if you created a role user with a manager role, like when you create a user, there you have option to select role. If you create a user with a manager role, if you log in, so the manager role user only can see that page, user list page. So even admin or a customer, whoever roles we have, they can't access that specific pages. So application, we have roles. So this how when you are going to give access to a page, so what we have to do, we have to, based on the application, we will first of all we will list down all list of roles and we'll create them, and then after we'll create a couple of users to each role to finish this function access based functionality. And we say that suppose for example, you can see in banking application, a clerk can create a loan and he will fill all information and he will submit. So clerk role can only view option to create a loans. So you can see a loan list page and he can create a loan page. Loan page also you can see. So we are saying that that loan list page and create page we select as access based, and we move to access tab, and we have selected a clerk, and so that if you select a user list page as ease menu, so once the clerk has logged in, he can see user list page and he can create a loans and submit. But thing is, one banking, in a banking organization, there might be multiple clerks, more than one clerks are there, but there will be only one manager. So our clerks can see only the loans which they have created, not other clerks loans also. So, and we have two different pages, the clerk loans and manager loans. So the manager loans page, here the manager, once he logged in, we have given that separate page, there manager only can access the page. So manager can see the all loans which are all clerks has created. So this kind of one example, how this access based will helps to authorize a specific users based on a role. So have any question or you want to repeat again? I will show you in application what I have screenshots have kept here. I'll show you how it works real time. But do you have any questions apart from this up to now? Okay, let me give you time later. Let me explain you real time on how we can create and how we can give access. Let me show you an existing application. What I will do. Hmm. For example, you know that by default application, whatever you're seeing on default one, second, sorry for that. No, in application, if you move to module pages here, in the whole zero code application, there should be only one default one. Not now, we have a login as a default application, default page. So do not give for another page as a default application. Then application will get confused, and no, I'll show you how it works. It won't open a page for you. So it moves to registration page. So whatever you say, which one is default one, so that page will load as a default one, but that page also should be an public page only, because we are not asking user to log in. No, whatever the page have. So how we can open application here, like, so we can access this page, like, this is base application, right? So application slash and this code. So I'll show you how it works. That's the base, and I'm saying account module and the pages. I'm just clicking on the code, it copies. These are base URL, and these are application, and these are module, and these are page code. So all these three are application code, module code, page code. So so we can access page. We can easily know that which page it is, and which application, which module the page belongs to, like by knowing the page application code and page code, and module code and page code. So we are saying that by default asking user to log in first. So that's why we have selected login as a default application. No, these pages are not required to even login. For default application, a default page, no need of give any URL also, doesn't matter. If you give full URL also, it opens. Not an issue. So you have logged in. So here in incognito window, you haven't logged in. So you can access this page only. I have shown you another registration application. You can access without login also. Let me show you another one. So we have options here. Guest access, no access all. Okay. It's not loading here properly. The server might be hanging. Okay. So we have another. So I can say this public green color circles are public access page, right? So even I can access this page. So I know this which application here is base application. So we know the base application code is JFC base slash. See module is shows here account module. So account module code is account. And if you click on the code, simply code text, it will copy the code. So I can access this active account page without even logging, because this is a public access page. And let me show you access session based page. No profile. I say profile as profile, and you can see profile and change password. These pages are session based page, for example. So I know this URL, right? I'll copy here, and I in this window, in this incognito browser, I haven't logged in yet to now. Now I'm trying to log in. It throws a message and it navigates to login page. It's asked to log in first, and then only I can access that page. So any session-based access pages you can't access without login. without login. So how it works when you move to network? So how it works? You click on right click, mouse right click. There you have option inspect. Click on that, and you have a network option here, and you have all fetch or XHR. You select fetch or XHR. So XHR is it shows only API requests which are calling. Now you see, I'm trying to access this change password page. This change password page, we don't have token because we haven't had to log in. So we don't have login, so it doesn't send any token to backend to validate. So that's why it throws a message. So you don't have access and it throws a message. Now, if you log in here, and if you see here, the same change password page, I'm just refreshing the page because I have already logged in here. Now we can see here headers, the authorization token. So for any API call, any page access or API access, we send Zerocode will send this token. This token will be given from backend when you log in. So that will be held in a cache. So it always uses send this token to backend so that it says that okay, you are a valid one, valid user, so you can access this page. If it is very expired or it is not a valid one, even though if you're not sending anything also, it simply throws a message and you don't have access to the specific page and message. So this is how a public access page and session access page will work. Not only page, for API also we have access. So later you can come to know, but for now it's not required. So for any call, any session based page or API, the Zerocode backend, it always checks for the authorization token. So the encrypted token, this token is valid, then only it will allow us to access the page. Otherwise, it simply throws a message and navigates to ask to log in first. So this is how in generally banking application also works. But later you can know that how really real time it will be. Okay. So you have any questions up to now? Session based, public access based. So we can call this as a token. We can call this as a token. So validating session might be different ways. So Zerocode we are following a token based access. So no need to worry about anything, and you have to know about okay how it can based on which one it's allowing to validate. So for your sake to understand better, I just shown you here. Okay. Any questions regarding the session based or a public access based? Great. Okay. Now let's move to access based. So if you know when you creating a page and if you say this is page is access based, this page can be created and will be shown. You can identify the page is a session based or access based, like by showing identifying color. If it is this red color, this page can be accessible for only based on roles users, the role which you have user. Okay, so you have to know about this public access and session based. Okay, and let's see about how we create access based page. So we have created access based page. Now let's see. For example, not this one. For administration, right? For example, you know, first one, the roles page, the roles manage page. So let me search for the page. Now, how can I come to know the page code? The last one, The first one is application, and this is module code, and this is page code. So so keep this remind every time, and how we can identify by URL what is the page code of this page. The last one is about a page code. Simply copy here this one, and you can click on the search icon and paste it, and you can identify here. Both are same, right? So there's something wrong. Search option will figure it out. Let me identify this one, the manage. No, how can I? There might be multiple names, same names also. You can, but code will be always unique. Guys already know about this. The whole application, the page code should be always unique. So how can I easily identify? I know this page code is manage, and I know the administration application and this roles. So this is a page. So before coming to this, we have roles, right? We have admin role here, and we have one user for this admin. This one. So when this user has logged in, and we have defined this, all these pages are. So you can check this. So whatever the page you see in administration application, all these pages are given by only access based. So no other role can access all these pages until unless you give any access. So if I suppose I'm going to create a new role. Example, customer. Reporting to like whom has to report to. For now, I'm giving for testing purpose. I'm giving as administrator reports to. So I created one user customer. I'm going to create a one user for this role. And say Mahesh. We can give a different. I'm using some random mobile number. I'm selecting as a customer. So reports to required selection is required. I'm giving some password. So I have created a user, but this user role is customer. No, when I'm trying to log in, let me show you. Mahesh. So there is no page for a customer. Even session-based pages are not exist. Only profile page, but except profile and change password page, there is no page. Even if user logged in, you don't have access to any session-based page or any access-based page. And let me give you how he can access one page. So I'm going to give access and manage roles page. Generally, we don't give this manage page for any role, only except admin. For you understand for testing purpose, for now, I'm going to add. So we have already given this page for administrator. That's why when admin logins, you can see all these pages. So now I'm going to access this, give access to the customer. So I have created a customer role, right? So that customer role I can see here. And I've selected as a customer. So task we will have one default one, which doesn't matter what our task it is right now. And now given. Now the customer can access this page. I'm simply refreshing now. I'm going to log in again. See. So for a customer, we have given only one page access. That's why when a customer logged in, he can see this page. If I remove this access, select and delete. If I refresh, it won't allow us. Like how it works. So even if you send a token, if it's a login also doesn't matter. If a page is access based page, that page can access by only a role which have access given access to the page. If the role has exist for that user, then only the user can access those pages. So like if you have multiple applications, we are saying in application. Okay, let me give access server. It's not happening. Keep on getting calls. No, not an issue. Okay, where am I? So in an application, generally, when you are implementing application Zerocode, we say that specific page can access for only specific roles. Some page can access for only specific roles. So in the moment, you have to give this access. Okay. Like example, I've shown you the roles manage page can access by only admin, and you can only create roles. The customer cannot create a role. So customer job is simply you can create example banking application like banking terminology. You say that a customer can give a feedback about his loan and bank service. Otherwise, he can't see anything about banking information and banking things, whatever it is. So same kind of example. So this how access based about page access. As we seen about 3 types. So have any questions about these 3? I'm here to explain. Hope you understand. If not, please raise. No one. Amazing. You guys are advanced.
So,
Tell me actually.
can we set multiple roles to one user?
No. Right now in Zerocode we're not giving them that option. For one user, there's only one role.
Okay, sir.
Do not give the multiple selection for a role user for user.
Okay, sir.
It will give multiple complications. In real time, it might be a scenario, but we are not giving the future here in Zerocode.
Okay, sir.
Good question. Yes, Niklesh?
Sir, this is basic understanding for how to access pages now, sir.
Yes, not basic, it's a complete thing. It's about access, about a page access.
Yeah.
Just read it.
Yeah,
Not a
okay,
basic,
sir.
it's complete understanding of access.
Yeah,
for a
okay,
page.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Even you have access for API, which doesn't require for now. So we just
Yeah.
focus on page only. Do not
Okay,
worry
sir.
about
Okay, sir.
API access. Doesn't require for you.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anyone? Ashish? Ashish Kumar Brahma. We have 2 Ashish. Ashish and Ashish Kumar.
Yes, sir.
So you understand?
Yes, sir.
Great. Okay, Hema.
Sir.
Understand?
Yes, sir.
Great. Well, next. Now, Paul.
Yes, sir. Understand.
Understand? Great. Fine then. So what about Varalakshmi? Hello? So Lakshmi, are you around? Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. You understand?
Hello. Voice is audible to you, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
Do you
okay,
understand?
fine, sir. Yeah. Yeah, yes, sir. I understood.
Fine then. Basha. Basha, are you around?
Sir, I understand, sir, but if you give me assignment, it is very fast to work, sir.
Okay, fine then. So no one have questions then. Fine. So HR will send you tasks. So let's connect evening. So if you have any questions, we'll clarify there. All right. Thank you for your time. So please do practice. Once the meeting is done, we'll send you the task. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
sir.
Okay, sir.
I'm going to end up the session. Okay, Priyanka. So you can.
Sir, whatever today's assignment.
We'll send. HR will send you the mail. The document and task details. HR will send you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
okay.
sir.
Priyanka.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, you can end up the session.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah, I'll send you the details later.
Yeah.
Thank you, team. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye.
you, sir.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.